enough to have his baby, you're good enough to have his last name. So if you want that, it's time to get that, especially if he doesn't have the first two things I talked about. If he has an addiction, don't abort mission. Don't bother with him. Leave him alone. I'm telling you, the change that you think will happen being with him will not happen until he's aged out of the system. Old men, once they can't do it anymore, that's when they start making the change. All right? And we already know what I mean. Me being raised around older people, I heard conversations. And I realized that the husbands that I thought were so wonderful, they weren't so wonderful when they were young. It's just that he aged out of the system. So he had to change because he was aged out, not because he wanted to change. So, and that's usually with the women. When a woman marries the man that they want, that is what's going to happen. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything for you. I'm not going to lie to you. Can you get the ring from this man? Yes, you can. Just like you can get the ring from the man that you need. Absolutely. Like getting the ring from the man is easy. What is maybe hard is the marriage itself. That's what's going to be hard. The very thing that you ignore is the very thing you would divorce over. How do I know? I've been doing this for about 5 years now. Well, no, 4 years. I've been doing these social media things. And I've been doing one-on-ones and mentoring women. And I helped the women get the ring. They had already been together for like 10 years. Do you know that they divorced within 2? Even though I told her, yes, we can get you the ring. The ring is not a problem. But the marriage will be. The marriage is going to be the problem. She thought that if she got the ring, it would change the relationship in the man. And it doesn't work that way. Babies don't change men. Marriage doesn't change men. You have to look at a man at what he's currently doing and accept. That's the issue. Not change, accept. And if you look at what he's doing and you can't accept and you realize that you're not built for tough, then you should not go down that path. Because you're going to be an old woman before you reap the benefits of his change. And that was a story for half the women that my grandmother knew. My grandmother's friends married drunks, sex addicts, and gamblers. They aged out the system and became better men. And this is what men are referring to when they have these conversations. They just want you to ignore the bad behavior. And I'm telling you that if you do that, you better be built for tough. You realize that you're going to sacrifice your energy and your beauty in that dynamic. But they had been together for about, 10, 12 years. They got married and they was divorced in 2. And I tried to warn her. Y'all know what I do is I warn you that, hey, I don't think this is a great idea. But if you are determined to do and move forward, I am not going to stop you. Now she left. And since she did listen to some of the things that I taught her about making sure that he had resources and making sure he had his finances together. So now she just gets alimony and child support. But she's a divorcee when she didn't have to be. I advised her to get rid of him and start over because some of the things I saw. Because some of the things that women don't pick up on, I pick up on. I've been trained to kind of pay attention to certain things that I observe that's not going to be the right thing. And when I have women talk about the man and tell me I ask certain questions about, oh, where did y'all meet? Oh, what do y'all like to do together? Oh, what is your pet peeve or things that you don't like about him? And women go all in and they tell everything. And when I start hearing stuff, I'm like, hey, this probably is not the guy. I would suggest that you move around and create space so that you can get the guy that you need, not the guy that you want. Wow, did he change for the world? Guess what? He did. He did. He got big-headed about landing a woman that he did not deserve. So he did do some things that kind of made the relationship worse. It was almost like all the bad behavior that he had. See, the thing is, let me tell you about marriage. And this is one thing my grandma taught me. I'm going to teach you this right now. When you marry a man, you approve him. When he puts that ring on your finger, when you put that ring on your finger, right? You approve his bad behavior and all. So when she put the ring on her finger, after 10 to 12 years, he went and he just amped up the bad behavior because she'd already approved it. Don't ever look at a man by what you want to change. Look at a man for who he is. Then look at the bigger picture and be like, can I stand this for the next 20 years, 25, 30? And if you cannot, and you're not built for tough, abort mission. So yes, the things that came out of it was alimony and child support, because he won't no scrub now. One of the things I'm always going to tell you to abort mission if he doesn't have his finances together. I don't focus in on a certain amount. I focus on financial stability. If he can't offer you financial stability, there's no reason for both of you all to struggle. How long does your technique take to get her the ring? 10 years getting the ring is a huge achievement for a professional in this field. We rarely hear of that. We have trouble accepting reality. I didn't like being with someone who told me no. It only took 6 months. It took 6 months. And I've already given you all what I told her. I go through it again. We'll go through it one more time of how to get the ring in 90 days. We'll go through it because y'all know I don't put myself on social media. My stuff goes into my membership. Can you go over the 90-day ring formula again? Absolutely. We sure can. All right. The very first thing you're going to do, remember this. Men are the sum of their childhood. Either a man is trying to create the family that they came from or correct the family that they came from. So they're creating based off the family dynamics that they came from. So your first thing you need to do is figure out the family dynamics. Is he coming from a family that doesn't value marriage? Is he coming from a family that doesn't value women? Is he coming from a family that doesn't value family? Like, look at the family dynamics. Look at how the family operates. Also, pay attention to who influences him. Do you influence him? Does his friends influence him? Does his mama influence him? Influence is big. Influence is so big that I'm going to teach you how to influence him. And I'm going to teach you how to recognize when you can never influence him. Okay? But influence is so big that they have done research on it and said that if a wife doesn't have influence, then she doesn't have a marriage. It is just that simple. So you need to look at the family dynamics. You need to pay attention to how the family operates and see if he is still aligning to the family that he came from. And people do this overall anyway. It's not just the men that will do this. Women do this. We continue to follow in the footsteps of our family members or the people who influence us. And we create a life and a family based off that dynamic. He's doing the same. Most people are not awake. They're not conscious. You are, because I'm making you conscious. I'm making you self-aware by putting this in your brain. So you're like, let me pay attention now. Let me pay attention to, is his mother a woman who cooks every night? Does his mom, is she the type of woman that has Sunday dinner? Is she the type of woman that cooks for her kids all the time? Okay? Because guarantee you this, he's looking for that similar dynamic. Any man that's coming from a household where his mom cooked every single night, he's going to want you to cook every night. It doesn't matter how much he loves you. He's still looking for that dynamic. All right? Just to tell you, he's looking for that dynamic because he won't, if he's not trying to course correct or correct a situation that happened in that family dynamic, maybe in the family dynamic, he didn't appreciate not having a father. Maybe he didn't like not having a father. So he's not going to have kids until he's married. That's the course correction. That's what he's going to create in his dynamic. So this is what you need to do. Look at the family dynamic, because all he's going to try to do is replicate it. All he's going to try to do is emulate it. Your job is to observe it and then just pour it on. Remember it, because you're going to pull that out of your repertoire. You're going to pull that out of your the information that you're creating and observing, so you can emulate it and copy it. You can copy it. That information is energetically feminine, by the way. I taught you all of this. So if he has a mom or maybe a dad and they call him and text him and he's one of these phone people, he's on the phone all the time because he had a very communicative family, he's going to want that same dynamic. We all just the sum of our childhoods. Only way we course correct is if we become self-aware. I became self-aware, so I could course correct and change the things that I didn't want to follow behind. I didn't want to follow in those same footsteps. That's the reason why y'all got generational curses, because people are not course correcting. They're just emulating, copying and paste. That's what's happening there. So the first thing, family dynamics. You're going to observe. You're going to pay attention. You're self-aware. Now you're paying attention to, oh, he has a family. They have Sunday dinner every time. He has a real close bond with his family. He calls his family members to ask them questions, and they have influence over him. When he calls and talks to his mom, and it's about a big decision about his career, then he implements it. He does the thing. Pay attention. It's all things that you need to know. So once you do that, and you start, now you're self-aware, you recognize the family dynamics. Now it's time to emulate and copy and paste. You want to bring some of that into your home, because they've done some research, and I get all my stuff from research because I like science, I like biology, and I like psychology. I love it. I read it. Most people have something of their childhood in their home. It could be a table, it could be a painting, it could be a picture. And being able to observe these things to see if those things are in his home. If you recreate some of the things that he grew up with and create your space in similar ways, this also is going to bring about comfort, safety, and happiness. So you want to bring that into your household. You want to bring those dynamics in his household. Pay attention to also, is he course correcting or is he copying and pasting his family dynamics? If he's course correcting, pay attention to what he's course correcting. Is he course correcting that he like really clean space because he grew up in a really dirty home, or that he wants to be married before he have a family? Like, what is he course correcting? And majority of people are not course correcting. They're not course correcting, but there's ways to activate later on. Like there's ways to activate later on. We ain't there yet. Like I do this I try to separate so it's not so overwhelming. So first thing is family dynamics. So family dynamics, find out all of these little things, start observing. If you have to, get a little notebook and write all the things you're observing down so you don't forget anything. Okay? Then, and number 2, you're going to be, for 90 days, you're going to be on no nagging, no complaining, no emasculating, and no correction. And that means every interaction with him you're gonna make every interaction somewhat pleasant. Okay? You're gonna make it very pleasant, because what we're gonna do step 3. We have to activate the reward center. Men's brains are set up to be a reward center or system. I use either or when I taught this last. And since their brains are set up to be sensitive to reward, you have to activate it through either appreciation, compliments, or intimacy. Remember, intimacy is currency, because men don't get touched like you. Like you probably overstimulated by touch because people are always trying to touch women. There's a reason for that. Women are nothing but feminine energy. They're energetic. They're spiritual. So being touching you can bring somewhat of peace and calm. All right. So you want to activate the reward center. So instead of since you're not going to be nagging, you're not going to be emasculating, you're not going to be complaining, you're not going to try to correct him. You're going to all be about the appreciation. So anything, I want you to operate in a way like you're trying to get the most points every single day and activating his reward center. Figure out a point system. If it's 10 and you want to get 10 points a day, I want you to combine all 3 of these or get as many as you possibly can in those 10 points. in order to activate the reward center. And so when you activate that reward center and you use appreciation and he does something that you like, you can be like, oh my God, thank you, babe. Thank you for doing that. My gosh, see my baby be on it. I love the way you do things. Like when I tell you I am well taken care of, I am well taken care of. Like I want you to do that over and over and over. Appreciation. Or you can do a compliment. The things that he wear, or honestly, with men, don't focus on the things that he wear. Focus on the things that he does. Like focus on the things that he does and that he do well, and compliment him on it. Intimacy. Separate intimacy from sex, because a lot of us don't know the difference. We think that men are all about sex, trying to get them booty cheeks. Yeah. They love that too. They love sex. But you have to realize why intimacy is currency is because men don't get touch. They don't get touched like you. Women are always going to be surrounded by somebody who want to touch them. Men don't get that pleasure. And it's not always just about sex. Intimacy can be just from a woman that he's attracted to, a touch on the shoulder, a touch on the face, a hug, a kiss on the cheek. These are all intimacy. Cuddling, intimacy. And so you want to do that as much as possible. You want to be in his space. You want to be in his space and as close as you could possibly get him in order to activate that reward center. So that is number 3. Number 4, we're going to stop going to boring restaurants. Some of y'all go out to, I love 5-star restaurants just like the next girly, but I also know I need bonding activities also. Because I want to create this spaces. I want to create a situation where he's going to have those happy dopamine drugs flowing in his system. I want him to, every time he sees me, I want him to get a dose of those drugs, because you can literally create new neural pathways. And that's just learning experiences where every time a man see you, he see peace. He see happiness. He see pleasure. And that is automatically activated. So you don't even have to go through the process of doing these things anymore, because it's ingrained in him. It's a learned experience. Then when he's with you, that he's going to feel good. So number 4 is bonding activities. And we do that. We like to go to escape rooms. We like to my husband loves puzzles. He loves trying to solve things. That's his favorite thing to do. He loves games. So we do the escape room thing. And that gives me the opportunity every time he helps me with the last puzzle or gets me out the room. That gives me an opportunity to be like, babe, you're so good at this. I would have been stuck in that room and, I'd have went crazy. Like, I'm so happy I got such a smart man. Like, I'm so happy I got an intelligent man. And that activates that reward center so that he gets pleasure from being around me. So bonding activities that you can participate in. It doesn't have to be an escape room. Y'all can cook together. Y'all can dance. You can go dancing. If you like physical activities, I'm not your girl for that. I'm not your girl for that. The last physical activity we went on was a horseback riding. I don't care for that. If I can't cut it off, I don't want to do it. All right. But you can go golfing. You can go hiking. You can go do paintballs. Anything that's going to get you to focus on each other and create a plan. And so that you can work together. That's going to be the best bonding activity that you can create. And you're going to do these things for 90 days. All right. Then the last thing is that after all of these escape room things and utilizing the reward center, you want to make sure that you trigger the hero in him. You want to make sure that you know that he's saving you, that he's protecting you, that he's taking care of you, because men look to women to know that they're doing a good job. So you want to make sure you encourage that every single time and do it for 90 days and then thank me and send me a wedding invitation. It's never not failed. Before marriage, did your immediate husband ever get upset with you, lose patience? My husband is the most patient person on the planet. Like, I am not. I'm impatient. Like, I am quirky. I am the weird girl. My husband is patient. He's normal. I'm not. And we just work well together. But like I said, we are like oil and water. Not because we don't like the same hobbies. Even the hobbies that we've chosen, they're different. But when we come together, it's values. We still have the same value system and the same moral code too. Like we're both like, hey, we don't know how anyone can deal with someone who can't keep their word. So my husband is super patient. I'm happy you got that woman her alimony. 12 years with something is better than 10 years with nothing. I love to know how rebuilding her self-trust and self-respect is going. She's doing well. Like she's not a client of mine anymore. Okay. But she's doing well. She still reaches out in emails or DMs every once in a while. See, I need a patient individual. The poor man was patient with me. Yeah, my husband is very patient. He has to be patient to deal with me. Because one of the things that women do well, and I guess this is going down in, letting women know another secret that we have. Another power that women have is vulnerability, feelings, and emotions. The thing is, we tend to try to be hard or cold or try to pretend that we don't have those things in order to thrive. And see, you disarm with vulnerability, emotions, and feelings. So I can be my vulnerable self where I'm feeling a certain way. And he has a lot of patience with that. Or I can be myself where my emotions are taking me over and maybe I'm overreacting, and he has patience with that. That is our superpower as women, is to be able to be vulnerable and have feelings and have emotions. We're not supposed to be cold-hearted or, just so cold-hearted and cold. Thank you for going over the 90-day plan. You're welcome. The wealthy one said I was worth the wait. Thank you. I want to be waited on. That's a true desire of my heart. I'm happy for her. Absolutely. And honestly, I absolutely believe that she's going to get married again. Like, I know she's going to get married again. And I think she's at a point in life where she's ready. I can always tell when a woman's ready. So she's ready. I feel like she's going to get married again. And I'll be going to another wedding. Because I do go to weddings. I was an hour or so late the first time we met. I was consciously late, sadly. Oh, yes, absolutely. So that is the 90-day plan. And you will see that it will get you that ring. If that's what you desire. Like, I know everybody doesn't desire marriage, okay? But I'm going to tell you, I am pro-marriage. I am pro-family. I am pro-spirituality. And so I'm pro these things. So I'm going to always say that if the man put a baby in you, he can put a ring on your finger. And I think you should go ahead and do the 90-day plan and get that ring on your finger if that is your situation. I'm not talking to anybody specifically either. I'm just saying. Oh my God, it's so sweet. I love these success stories. Absolutely. To me, if a man is not patient, then his sex probably isn't any good. I wouldn't think it would be either. Also, in order for the plan to work, you should tell him up front that you're dating for marriage, rotationally date, and no sex, right? Anything else. Absolutely. Don't lie about wanting marriage. If he asks you, do you want to get married? Be like, yes, absolutely. I cannot wait until I find my husband. Absolutely. And if no sex, absolutely no sex. During that time, you do not want to be blinded by you don't want to be blinded by bad behavior. You want to be aware and be able to observe him. See, the thing is with women is what happens is that our bodies, we have oxytocin, and when we have sex, it is the bonding hormone. And what it does, it blinds us to his faults. So it will blind us to his bad behavior. And it's hard to vet when you're having sex. It's hard to vet. It's hard to make sure that this is the right man that you want to go forward with when you're having sex with him. So I'm going to say no sex. If you're in that situation and you want to be married in 90 days, no sex, rotationally date, not roster date. Roster dating and rotationally dating are two different things. One has a purpose and one doesn't. Well, both of them have a purpose. Okay. But if you're wanting to date for marriage, you're going to rotationally date. Roster dating was always meant for like sugaring and just like getting money from men. Like I said, this is not a page about judgment. And I mind my business. That's how you keep healthy, and that's how you keep your sanity, by minding your business. I don't have this preconceived judgment or anything. I don't even believe in good or bad or right or wrong. I believe that people are gonna keep people in. That's what people do. It's all psychology. When a man says he's never married any woman, that sounds like a red flag. Now I see the legal challenges he had at the time of segments. I'm gonna tell you, when a man tell you he ain't never married a never woman, I would take him seriously. I would, especially if I am trying to date for marriage. I would take him seriously. Like over here, we take men at their word. If they say they're crazy, they're crazy. Okay. If they say they don't want to ever be married, then they don't want to ever be married. If they say they don't believe in monogamy, they don't want to believe in monogamy. Men are not projects. We do not take on men as projects. Do you believe believe time in life matters? What do you mean? Because time? Oh, you mean like meeting somebody at the right time? Is that what you mean? Like meeting someone at the right time? Some of you all been here for a while. We got literally 26 seconds left. And I probably won't be coming back because my children want to go out to lunch, and I have planned on going out to lunch with them. We've been here for a while. The 90-day plan can work for the man that you want or need. It'll work for both of them. I just want you to know the difference so that you know what you're